Hey, my Raider familia. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday. Hope you're having a great start to the work week and hope you enjoyed your weekend. Had a nice, relaxing weekend. Just wanted to talk about the Raiders Sunday night game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the good, the bad, and the ugly. First, let's start with the good. Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs, continues to excel at the slot corner position. He's been playing very well, and he's been in on quite a few tackles the last few games. The guy isn't shy about hitting, coming up and stuffing the run or making a hit on cornerbacks, tight ends, or anybody that comes across his area. He's been doing a fantastic job. Had some very important breakups last night. And the guy just continues to excel his position. He looks comfortable. He looks confident. And big ups to Nate Hobbs for his active play. He's a fierce competitor, hard worker, doesn't back down, and he's up for the challenge. We need more of those guys on defense. Big ups to Nate Hobbs. He was a good from this weekend's game. Now for the bad. After the first game against Denver, Jimmy G, to me, I mean, he looked calm, poised. He made winning plays, and I thought, hey, he was taking care of the football, even though he made a bad mistake and turned the ball over in the end zone against Denver. I thought overall his play was okay. He didn't turn the ball over that often, and he played under control. But last night, I mean, it was a terrible ball game by Jimmy G. He looked uncomfortable the whole game, had happy feet, was dancing around in the pocket, didn't he kind of ran himself into trouble a few times. He didn't know how to escape the trouble. I know the Steelers came out and they really applied the pressure, but overall, I thought the offensive line, even though they were a little up and down last night, they still gave him quite a bit of time to throw. It seemed like Pittsburgh was hell bent on stopping the run, and so a lot of the pressure was on Jimmy's shoulders, and he collapsed. He there were some bad interceptions thrown by Jimmy G last night. I'm not sure what the deal was with him, but that one that he threw to Patrick Peterson was horrendous. I mean, he basically just threw it up for grabs, and it was a pretty embarrassing play on his behalf. There's a couple times where he turned the ball over, and we were in scoring position. I mean, you can't do that, especially when we're in field goal range. And with Carlson kicking the field goals, that's a pretty long range. So there's no need for you to just throw the ball up for grabs in those situations, especially when you're taking points off the board. So the bad for me was Jimmy G. Also, he tends to, for the last three games, he's been focused too much on Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers. But last night it was ridiculous. I mean, it seemed like every play was going to Devontae, and he put Devontae in some really bad situations as well, throwing the ball into triple coverage, double coverage, where the safety's playing up high, and coming in to put some punishment on Devontae, and Jimmy G can't do that. He's got to be better than that. You can't put Devontae in harm's way. You've got to protect him sometimes, and use your outlets, your other outlet receivers like Hunter Renfro, who you're totally ignoring for the last three games, or Michael Mayer as well. I mean, we don't use our tight ends, we don't use our slot receiver. Jacoby Myers and Devontae Adams are basically the only two guys this guy's looking for, and unfortunately, as we saw with Jacoby in the game against Denver, he put him in a bad situation where he took a hell of a shot. So Jimmy G, he was the bad for me in this game. And if things don't get better and quick, he's going to be out of a job and sitting on the bench because Aiden O'Connell's going to have to come in. We're going to have to start the rookie and see where we're at with him because I just don't see I don't see things improving with Jimmy G, especially because the coaching is not very good either. So next up for the ugly, and I mean, who else could I give the ugly to other than Josh McDaniels? Coach McDouche, man, get it together, brother. What the hell were you thinking? 3 minutes left. Uh, we're at the 4 or 5 and you're kicking a field goal on a fourth down when we're down 8, man, you knew there was a chance we weren't going to get that football back. You've got to go for, you got to trust your offense in that situation. You've got to go for the touchdown and try for that 2-point conversion. Regardless, even if, let's say, you turn the ball over on downs, Pittsburgh's getting the ball at their own 4. They're in a compromised position. You knew they weren't going to take any risks, especially with their quarterback as bad as he's been playing. I don't think they were going to take any chances. You would have expected 3 straight runs from them, and we would have gotten the ball back at least at the 50 at worst. And the fact that you didn't trust in your offense, the offense that we spent so much money on this offseason, all of our cap space went on signing Jacoby Myers and Jimmy G, and you didn't spend any money on that defense. You spent all that money on this expensive offense. I think we're the 3rd most expensive offense in the NFL, and then you don't even have the confidence to give them a shot to score. That's really that was a terrible decision. We kicked the field goal. We're still down 5. We still need to score a touchdown, dude. What is going through your head at that point? I don't understand what your thinking was, McDouche, but you've got to be better. That was one of the stupidest decisions I've seen in a long time. And on top of that, we got the ball back with, I think it was like 8 minutes left, and this team, you would have thought we were in the second quarter of the game with like a whole half to go. The way they were taking their time, huddling up, and taking their time running plays. I mean, we should have been a no huddle offense, especially considering the amount of points we were down by. You guys needed 2 scores to tie the game. You guys needed to be in a hurry up offense, no huddle offense. I don't understand why you were letting these guys huddle up. We should have been no huddle. We should have been throwing the football. I don't understand. At that point, we don't run the football the whole game, and at that point, at crunch time when we need to score, you're starting to let Josh Jacobs cook. Come on, man. That needs to happen in the first half, 3rd quarter, wear down these defenses. The 4th quarter, when down 2 scores, that's not the time to start running the football. But for some reason, McDouche thinks that's the perfect time. I don't understand your thinking or what your brain is, what the brain concept is at that point. But it was a stupid decision. On top of that, your offense is boring, man. You need to make some changes. Be a little more creative with the game plans. Put guys in motion. Trey Tucker, why don't you move him? Have him go in motion so we can at least change the defensive eyes so they can start focusing on other players instead of just constantly setting up in your basic formations. I mean, we need to use a little bit more the Trey Tuckers, the Hunter Renfros, the Michael Mayers, maybe Austin Hooper, bring him in and run double tight end sets. And if your ends or your left tackle and right tackle are getting beat constantly on the edge, bring in a 2 tight end set to help chip off these guys and slow them down a bit. I mean, the fact that you let these guys go one-on-one versus our tackles pretty much the whole game was a pretty stupid decision. It was ridiculous. I don't understand what the game plan was. We let Jimmy G throw 40, I think it was like 40 or 45 passes this game. It was terrible. And, part of the ugly too, man, Raider fans, what a letdown. We let the Pittsburgh Steelers fans come in and make that a home game for them. That was embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing to see that, especially for a big game, our opening night, Sunday Night Football, and all you see is yellow and all that gold and black in the stands. Man, that was a pathetic showing by the Raider fans. That was ugly, terrible, man. But hey, who else is there to blame other than Mark Davis for that? I've got 2 game balls. First game ball is going to Davante Adams. Man, this guy was a stud all night long. He was killing it. 13 receptions, 172 yards with 2 touchdowns. Guys, we're wasting this man's career, man. Let's just trade him if we're not gonna do anything with him. I mean, he's obviously elite. Next up, Mad Max was all over the field. He had 1 sack yesterday, but this guy's a stud, man. Lining up at all spots on the line, trying to create havoc. Big ups to you guys, but man, that was a terrible game.